Hello, I'm Herm Gailey, here to talk about the start of the stop. We have had several different videos, one entitled 3 Ways to Stop Your Horse, and a couple other ones, but the 3 Ways to Stop Your Horse shows you a little bit of my philosophy of teaching a horse to stop. But at that moment, I did not have a green horse to use. I had a more finished horse, and it let me demonstrate further downstream. But for now, let's move along and show how we build this. Now, early in her life, when she was just being ridden the first couple of times, I started off doing this the very first ride. If you were to watch, it's called the low stress ride on a nice young horse. It's this filly's first ride with another rider on, because I had somebody else start her that day. I was sort of crippled at the moment. What I told my friend Melanie to do with rider was pick up on the reins and hold until she stops. And if she takes a step back, so much the better. Now, you're not going to get that when they're that green, but I have no idea if he continued with this simple process, but quite a few years ago, I mean, I'm talking 35 years ago, I rode with Rocky Dare, excellent reining horse trainer, excellent horseman, and his process for starting to get his horses to stop was simply with colts in the round pen. He just put a gentle bind on them, and they might go the whole way around the round pen till they realized, hey, if I stop, he gives me some slack. And I've used that basic principle just to put a good, solid, basic stop on horses even early in their career. And it's always the same. When this mare's a 5-year-old and she knows how to stop and I pick up on her, it'll be this way. Wait for her to soften, wait for her to back up. It's that simple. Now, if they're rude, you may need to address how they are in the face. If they're resistant, you'll see it. You may have to separately address this, but the stop itself is built just by picking up, hold until they soften, and step back. And I would like to see her a little more attentive and stop and back almost in one motion. So I'll walk her up here, and if she doesn't stop and back, I'll bump her with my legs. Say, you get relief after you soften up and back. Why do you back? Because that engages their hindquarters. There, that was a lot better. Took her a while to get organized, but she was thinking the correct direction. Now, here's an odd thing. Although I want them to know whoa very much, I'm doing this without saying whoa, because what I don't want is to incorporate that whoa and have that be what stops her. I want her to learn to stop from the 2 things that are happening here. I pick up on the reins and I do roll my seat underneath a little, take a deeper seat. I take basically the same seat that I would take if I was doing a rundown on a reining horse, so that it never changes either. I just roll my seat up under, hold, stop and back. Hold, stop and back. Now, you may not want to back them up if the horse is driving into the ground real hard. You don't want to get your horse jumping at the ground. If your horse is stopping too hard, they'll start to stop in 4-wheel drive. All 4 legs will stop, and that's not what you want. You want them free in front. So if they would do that, then you would separate out the stop and the back up, stop, get them to settle, then back up. To see a good demonstration of that, my friend Tim Anderson has a video up that addresses separating the stop and the back up when you have a horse that wants to drop on their front end. But to get them initially to commit the back end, I do like to couple the stop and the back up. And of course you take that up to a trot. And you want your horse to be going forward. You don't want them thinking that they're about to stop. You want them going forward. I did be a little soft in the bridle, which she is just groping her way toward. And then I'll sit down, take the slack out, let her stop, take a step back, and give it back to her. So this is another one of those videos where there's not a lot of dynamic stuff happening, and that's sort of my goal in life. That's my theme, is if we can keep this low key, your horse will stay low key, they'll be responsive, they won't be resistant, and you won't ever make as exciting a video as you could make if you were running them down, yanking on their face and having them jump in the air. So she had to sort of collect her wits there and her body, which she did. And then what's interesting is, okay, so you've got the basic of a stop at a walk, basic of a stop at a trot. This little horse is just learning to lope, but I'm gonna lope a circle or so here, and then I'll pick up and stop her, and I think she'll stop about the same from a lope as she has been from the walk and the trot. And she's still finding her way in the lope, and that's okay. So this time, as I'm facing away from you partially, I'm just gonna let her stop. Right out here, I'm gonna take the slack out, hold her till she takes a step back. So you can see she's starting to find her way to the ground. She bounced crooked, she didn't engage. I don't expect her to really engage and slide at all. But if you watch that stop, you will see that what she did, she lowered her hips, she engaged, and she didn't lock up in the front end. So that's what you want to start the process, to where your horse remains free in front even as they begin to commit behind. She has regular horseshoes on. The ground is sticky and heavy right now. Wouldn't be a good time to stop a finished horse hard. But a horse can stop like she does and learn the ropes in this kind of ground with these kind of shoes just fine. So it's as simple as that. If you're consistent from the first time you stop your horse till the end of their life and they're consistently responsive, you're going to have a nice continuum. And give it a try. It'll take a while before you see it take and hold. But if your horse is polite, if you're consistent, you'll see an improvement, I promise you. If not, come find me. Till then, be well.